and almost so easy for say about 31 polling stations are may strong and many me votes in film no for about 110 and declare results, which is alien to the electoral process. Because we have CI 127, we have PNDC law 284, representation of the people's law as amended. So a procedure way and come now. I said the returning officer now to trust them across on national TV. Young person they being involved in such a violent activity. Under duress, under coercion, without regard to due process, and also may declare results. Emra any of the Bayajuma into a family council. Yang, you say and lose election into Nomi and high. And since I hear law abiding,
they took hostage of the entire St. Martin's school, assembly hall, and even the premises of it. You can find out. Gates were vandalized, school properties were vandalized. They started throwing missiles to the point that the EC officer, the returning officer, was stopped from continuing the collation. Not only that, as if that was not enough, they also started tearing apart, destroying the pink sheets as forwarded by the presiding officer from various polling stations to the collation centers.
Abusia seme no ka say de Ghana ha yenya ye president elect enye obi asem ampeni dada John Dramani Mahama wabedi akonya ni bi pen koye na wasan ababedi bi me bi mo kire say we aye big time achievement e de ma papa na abone homodin yi pa na aba Ghana yeto ye no enye presidential nko a ene yeto ye yeto presidential ene ye sign to parliamentary no e ka ho na se ne enim se parliamentary ne de yeto aba ne wie no numu bo ne ye kenkan wo police station wo collation center koko collati wie na se presiding officer wo ho no agya gitum se abeba ye ne sei enu nti asome se obentin ene du mu enkunimu asa ye ntwen ma me gye se omra meka bibia biem enu nti saa ene course ananso afia ba na yeto ye no MDC nkunim de na omudi ye no omudi ni boom omofa presidential esan for parliamentary ni nyina kan wa se me ka se ne NDC for che ne se MPP for no kwa po mo ka so mo ntine fie 4 years omo ma parliament omo nheda for mo nya hwe biasa if you say omo kita ye kase majority a akwakodi NDC for ensem a beye 63 seats bi ena ye MPP for no edia na parliamentary seats ni ebi wo ho asem no kase besi nei wo mu entimi declare ye ho abasem a eno ewo ho a wo mu ekonkon ho na ba ko a ho ba asem na omanfo obro no so akasa yi pa ene Okaikwe Central a eye ye papa Honorable Patrick Boamah ena edi MP ewo ho enye ono kwa se yekọ ensawo mu so a Honorable Anodom Prince ewo nsawo mu a ono so ne de no wo kire se onyi ntum na Patrick Boamah aba abekasa after say isi no ebe declare Sadiq Adams a one no ene ko prayer se onto mo so aba ema isi no declare Sadiq Adams se ono ena edi emu enkunimu asese ono na eba be MP ede ama Okaikwe Central na se ye hu video se enam emonte so na abra na isi presiding officer no eba abe declare aba no ye hu se ne NDC fo mu mpanifo obi te se Peter Otoku no ewo hobi Sam George ewo hobi a wo mu ene kokko share presiding elder no se ono ena declare aba na ohwe video no sene na ekona ne Sam George eka no enu pepepe ena presiding officer no so eka edidi na echi a bebre no kire se enye saa ena aba no ye declare no enye saa ena presiding officer e declare aba no ewo so ono a presiding officer no eji afanu no nyina atum aba ye kan ni nyina bom na ono akasa quality ade no hu se ampa ye quality ye no Sadiq Adams ne di nkunim ye quality ye no Peter Boamah ena edi emu encho na Patrick Boamah ena enimu enkunima ono ne di nkuguo na kadin atodin na we de anko yankwankoba ne saye hu se ne NDC mu mpanifo akwakogina collation center hono mu a wo mu ato ahye presiding officer ne so na ne wo mu eka no enu pepepe ena presiding officer no eka after say o declare abano edema Sadiq Adams wie no honorable Patrick ya Boamah ababontin ababekasa wo kire se ono de oyo mamba pa otemrase onimumra ensemone sunti ena court dan esi ho ɔmfa mbra no ɛnhyɛ ne nsɛm ɔne n'akyitafo no akasa sɛ biribi ani a ɔno na danse ekita no ɔbɔboaboa ne nyinaa no ɔne na lawyer ɛbɛkasa na wɔde asɛm no akɔpie mu ɛwɔ court sɛ court ɛnhwɛ na asɛm aba na wɔn to yɛ no court nankasa ɛmfa n'ani ani akyiri sɛnea kɔɔ no nyinaa no court nankasa ɛbɛbua no wɔnkyerɛ ni a odi mu enkunim efiri sɛ ɔno Patrick Boamah ɛwɔ hɔ yi de onim sɛ aba na ɔkankwe central fo ɛto yɛ no ɔno ɛna wɔn to aba no ɛde maa no nti wɔbɛhwɛ sɛ wɔn aba na wɔn to yɛ no ɛnyɛ kwa ɔbɛpere na wagye ne nkunimdie ama ɔkankwe central ɛde emu nkunim ɛnyɛ ɔno nko a ɛna ɛde n'ano de sɛm aba bɛto dwa honorable Anodɔmprɛ ya ɔno nso ɛyɛ nsawɔm constituency hɔ anaasɛ ɔno nso de ne MP no ɛwɔ nsawɔm no ɔno nso aba abɔnten abɛkyerɛ ne nsɛm mu a ɔno nso ɛrekyerɛ sɛ abere a wɔn to aba no wieɛ na wɔn kɔ collation center hɔ sɛnea NDC foɔ ɛma se wɔn ho ɛde gu baasi mu bɛbi gu hɔ ɛbɛgye collation center no ɛde bɔɔ so ɛde asekan ne etuo ne nneɛma aba bɛsɛɛsɛ adeɛ no a na ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛnyɛ anika a ɔno nso ɛrekyerɛ sɛ sɛnea adeɛ no tie bia ɔno nso ɛde n'ani ɛbɛkyerɛm ɛnkosi sɛ nkunimdie a ɛyɛ ne deɛ no ne nsa bɛka abusua mɛka wɔ sɛ Prophet Dr. Bednego contact ne go screen no ase no obetumi afrɛ na ɔne nakasa concerning your spiritual problems na afei wa subscribe to my page no ɛyɛ too much gh ɛyɛ aka na fa bɛ ɔne ka ho sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ na upload bi aba onsa ebetumi aka ma yɛnkotie sɛnea mpanimfoɔ mmienu ɛkyerɛ wɔn nsɛm no mu esifai.
Media, you are all supposed to go back. If you are there, you will hear. Go back. Please, media, kindly go back. From 110 polling stations out of 140 at the end of the election at Okankwe Central Constituency, Patrick Boamah had 14,949. Abu Baba Abdullah Sadiq had 15,383. Total valid votes is 30,332. Rejected ballot is 130. Total vote cast 30,462. So from this election, this represents 110. This represents 78% of the election held at Okankwe Central. So from this result, Baba Sadiq has been elected Member of Parliament for Okankwe Central. Thank you. 2024.
Sɛdeɛ mo nim no bɛmɛnda yɛ to aba na election in polling stations ɛwɔ yɛ 140 wode special voting ka ho yɛ 141 yɛ declare results in your polling station ɛna agent biara assign yɛ gye ne copy. Electoral Commission shall say oye collation Ghana Telecom University. Amugu so my collation about 139 out of the 141. And union NDC for Bora to trust them say Nema Bebre, including some of the sheets and not ECD Human. Into my easy for AGI collation here no say Yamra original office. Obi amfa 2 agents emra na omumeboa no collective bibia no mo declare results enumu na NDC for say do omo numbers kra ni easy for the na intale na easy for say oh ya na ye conduct election ye pink sheets ni then na ye de mo intale and omo for so easy for say omo ni about 31 polling stations are no strong and many me votes no in film no more about 110 and declare results, which is alien to the electoral process because we hear CI 127 we hear PNDC law 284 representation of the people's law as amended. A procedure way and come now I said the returning officer. Now to trust him, of course, on national TV. Young person, they be involved in such a violent activity. Under duress, under coercion, without regard to due process, and also may declare results. Emra, any of the Bayajuma, into a family council. Yang, you didn't see any lose election, into Nomi and high. And since I hear law abiding
incidents that occur in the wee hours of the day. After polls, as you all do know, as the law says, 5 p.m., close of polls, votes were counted at various polling stations, and then they were ferried duly to the collation center. So we have been patient. It's not something we've not done before. And so we know the rudiments. So we comported ourselves. Our party representatives were there to duly represent us. Then from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., I'm told the EC had collated a number of polling stations. And mind you, we also had our own collation centers. It is the case that various polling stations, when the results are recorded, they take a snapshot of it and ferry it straight to our collation center before the hard copy is forwarded. So by and large, we got the figures before the EC got their figures. So we were collating, but of course, as the CI says, it's this EC that has the powers to declare results. But it's important as a responsible political party to also have some data before us. We were rudely shocked when from between 9 and 10 p.m., our colleagues in the minority, then the NDC, started massing people to St. Martin's with buses. People were brandishing knives, clutches, missiles, all sorts of things. They took hostage of the entire St. Martin's school, assembly hall, and even the premises of it. You can find out. Gates were vandalized, school properties were vandalized. They started throwing missiles to the point that the EC officer, the returning officer, was stopped from continuing the collation. Not only that, as if that was not enough, they also started tearing apart, destroying the pink sheets as forwarded by the presiding officer from various polling stations to the collation centers. Now, tables were torn apart. BDV implement were just taken from them, destroyed. Laptops were destroyed. So it got to the point that the EC officer could not continue the collation. And so he had to call for reinforcement. The police came, the military came. They had to bring military from Kibi. That's the extent of which they are gone. We know that the coalition centers, it is supposed to have only representatives of the political parties. It was as if there was a rally. They took over the hall, singing war songs, throwing missiles. Now, it got to a point I needed to show leadership. So I left home, I think around midnight, and proceeded to the place. Guess what? When they saw me, they all massed up to attack me. You can have a look at my car. It was well vandalized. And so this is what happened, and we felt this was out of place. We were not out there in a war exchange. It was a civil and patriotic responsibility of going to just cast your vote and not to go and exchange, violence. Now, as you do know, I told you, we have pink sheets here. We ourselves have also collated results. Our results show clear that we have won the parliamentary seat. We've won it. Now, the evidence is not far-fetched. I will challenge you to take we have copies of the pink sheet here. You will read a trend. In fact, polling stations that they've been winning by a very yawning gap, you could see we have closed the gap. Let me give you a typical example. There's a polling station in Fotobi. They got 337 and I got 331. This has never happened in the history of this consistency. That's never happened. Go to Bank Road, some parts of Bank Road, in some secondary. These are places they've been winning. We close gap on all these places. So we could, of course, with a lot of hard work and support from our party people. So if you want to win in Sawama Dreji, you need to justify your inclusion and show leadership. It cannot be the case that by all means we have to win in Sawama Dreji, whether hook or crook.
Intebusia and Samuno and Amade Ababasumuna Fe, what's the sene, and Samuno Aquacosi, sending Penifue Miru, Abba Abacho Monsemuno, Essi Afidi, ni Ebedi and Samuachi, Secopium or Quarter, near Befi Court Bebiano, yet the Beba Ababasumu, Amasu, who send ya, and Samnina Essi Air Commerce on your comments, a video he asked Eddie Amanafi, when me subscribe button so a year too much GH, a ya Fabel on the Sano Yanesa, upload the beer. On the first person I was a bit in Yaka, all the social media handles so go too much GH, a yakai, so be like woho, now I share so a dear mammy, my crowd.